My name is Kamalpreet Singh and today I am going to conduct your mock test speaking. Are you ready now?
Yes.
What's your full name?
My name is Navjot Kaur.
How may I address you?
You may address me from my first name Navjot.
Navjot, do you study or work?
Currently, I am planning for my further studies in abroad, and recently I have pursued my senior secondary education.
What are your hobbies?
Well, in my leisure time, I prefer to listen music, so I call myself a mellophile, or either I like to do cooking.
Let's talk about walking. Do you take a walk?
Definitely, I take a walk after having a meal along with my family or my siblings.
How often do you take walk?
I prefer a daily walk because I consider it is good for my physical health, and in the evening after having my meal, I invite my kids and kins, and along with them I go for a daily walk.
Why do you think walking is important?
I believe that there are several factors that why I believe that a walk is important. First and foremost is that it is good for physical health, and along with that it is beneficial for the mental health. For example, if any person goes for a daily walk, then he or she can get a free time from their busy schedule or from their free time from their work. So I believe that they can get a refreshment and concentrate more on their work. So I believe that this is the reason that why it is important.
When do you prefer to walk? In the morning or in the evening?
I'm in two mind because I prefer both. Sometimes when I find it hard to get up early in the morning, that I prefer an evening walk, or most probably I prefer a morning walk.
Do you walk in the city or in a countryside area?
As I belong to a rural area, so I prefer to go for a walk in my village, and if with my mother, I usually go for a morning walk.
Now we will talk about neighbors. Do you know your neighbors?
Yes, of course, I know my neighbors as since my birth I have been living around their home. So it has been 18 years that I am communicating with them and I have a good relation with them.
Are your neighbors helpful for you?
Definitely, I find them helpful for me. For example, whenever I go for a 2 or 3 days to my relatives' home or at an occasion, then they take care of my pet, as well as when there is any difficulty at my home, they come and ask me about the problems, and they give relevant solutions for this.
How much time do you spend with your neighbors?
For me, I believe that it is necessary for me to spend time with my neighbors, as there are just a few friends of mine from my neighbor's family with whom I like to spend time in the evening every day, and we enjoy long conversations with each other, and we also try to play different games, and I spend time with them every day.
Okay, now we will move to second part of your speaking, and it's your topic. And you can make notes if you want. And you have 1 minute to prepare it. Okay, you may start now.
To start off, I would say that there are several essential things or skills that individuals should learn and that are mandatory for them. And today I would like to talk about a skill that I have learned not from my school but with the help of my mother and my siblings, and that skill is cooking. And when I started making scrumptious dishes was when I was in 12th standard, and it was a task for me to learn a new dish and to make a video in my summer vacation. And after coming at home, I told my mother the whole scenario, what my teacher told me at that point of time. And after that, my mother told me that she would help me, and she assisted me really well. The next day we started doing cooking, and my mother told me the basic ingredients which I used in making almost every dish or the vegetable at home. And the first thing I made was a mixed vegetable, and I believe that it is really easy for me. But at before that, I used to think that it is a daunting task for me to complete. But I accomplished it with the flying colors. And when my mother told me the basic ingredients, I start taking the list of those ingredients, and I kept it in my mind. And after that, the cherry on the cake was that when my family and my friends appreciated me for my efforts, that I took an initiative towards learning something different. And after that, when I got all those praises, I felt over the moon. And apart from that, the major thing is that I didn't learn this skill from a school, but a major role is played by my school teachers or my school authorities, that they took an initiative to connect me with the basic skills that I think is very mandatory or important for people to learn. And when I learned this skill, then I started cooking by myself, and today I can cook several finger licking dishes. And I believe that it is important for me, as I am moving abroad for my further studies, and there would be no one for me to cook, and I have to cook by myself or order from the restaurant. So instead of that, I prefer to learn cooking skills. So this is the skill that I never learned from school, but I learned it with the help of my mother. So I would say that it will always be with me, as I would keep cooking and try different cuisines or the dishes at my home.
Now we will move to the part of your speaking, that is follow-ups. What do children learn from their parents?
As per my perspective, there are several things that parents can teach their children, such as moral values, etiquettes, and soft skills. For example, if a parent is cooperative and he treats really well to the people in front of their children, so children would definitely observe that, and they would try to learn that those things from their parents, such as soft skills, as I mentioned before. So I believe that these are the things that can be learned by their parents from by children.
Are some children well behaved because of their parents?
Definitely, I believe so. Because there are fewer parents who don't behave well in front of their children. So children observe that, and they act similarly. So I believe that it is mandatory for parents to behave well in front of their children, so that they could learn the good habits, such as behaving with the elders or the youngsters, that how they should treat with them. For example, when my father used to help my grandmother, then I used to observe him and learn how to manage several things. And nowadays, when my grandmother find any problem, or such as physical problems or knees in her pains, then I definitely like to help her. And I consider that it is also a factor that can be considered in the well behavior.
Is it important for adults to learn new things?
Yes, I believe that it is mandatory for them to learn new things. For example, if any individual do not learn new things, then in future they have to try different things, and they have to get out of their comfort zone. And in future, if they have to do so, they would find it difficult, and they would find several adversities in their life. And if they learn those skills at earlier, they would find it easy to do and convenient.